Hi, Recaps here. Today I'm going to explain a science fiction drama film called Mr. Nobody. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. In the distant future, 2092, humanity has conquered mortality through the endless renewal of cells. They no longer have to suffer from illness and aging at the cost of infertility. But there is one man named Nemo who is 118 years old and the last mortal on Earth. Although he looks like a 118-year-old man, he insists that he's 35 years old and was born in 1975. Everyone thinks that he's lost his memory and has no trace of his identity or his past life. Therefore, everybody starts calling him Mr. Nobody. He spends the rest of his life under the live camera, and people will vote to decide whether to let him die a natural death or be artificially kept alive. A psychiatrist named Dr. Feldheim uses hypnosis to help him recall his memories. The procedure traces him back to the time before his birth and helps Nemo access his subconsciousness. While Dr. Feldheim is away, a journalist sneaks into the facility and takes Nemo's interview. Nemo reveals to the journalist that all of the children will stay in heaven before they're reborn, and they know everything about their past life of their different lives. However, before they are born, the Angels of Oblivion will place their fingers on each child's mouth and make a mark on their lips. That ritual will wipe out the past life memories. Somehow, the angels manage to forget Nemo, allowing him to remember his different past lives. Before reincarnation, every child has to find a dad and a mom first. Nemo chose the blonde woman because she smelled nice, so she became his mother in his life. Nemo was born with the ability to see everything that is going to happen in the future, and when he tells his mother about this, she doesn't believe him. Instead, she tells him to quit playing Skyrim. Once, Nemo saw his mom cheating with a man. He became resentful about it. Not long after, his father and mother ended up with a divorce. Nemo's father and mother go their separate ways, and poor Nemo is forced to choose one of his parents as his mother leaves on a train while his father stays on the platform. As the train is pulling away, Nemo makes up his mind and decides to board the train with his mother and move to Canada. However, Nemo is able to remember his past life, and if things don't go the way he wants, he can always choose the other option in his next life. At school, Nemo notices a new girl named Anna and immediately falls in love with her. One day, Anna approaches him on the beach and asks him if he'd like to swim with her and her friends. However, Nemo rudely declines, telling her that he doesn't swim with idiots. Anna thinks he's such a jerk and walks away. Years later, he meets Anna again, who has already become a mom of 2 kids. They awkwardly greet each other before parting ways, and Nemo regrets insulting Anna at the beach when they were young. Therefore, he ends his life and is reborn. When Anna approaches him, he truthfully admits that he can't swim and asks Anna to keep the secret for him. Anna likes his frankness, and they start dating. However, in this life, Anna turns out to be his stepfather's daughter. Despite that, the two continue their relationship without telling their parents. They spend time together, getting pleasure and excitement from their relationship. But not so long, the parents find out, and they both decide to separate to break up their kids' relationship. Anna moves to New York with her father, but is still in love with Nemo, so she asks him to wait at the lighthouse for her every Sunday until they get together again. Nemo waits for Anna at the lighthouse for months, but never meets her. While Anna sends him letters, Nemo's mother hides them from Nemo, and eventually, they both lose touch. When he was 34 years old, his car ran off the road and into a river, and he died. Since his last life wasn't a great one, he decides to make a different choice this time. Therefore, when he's sent back to the crossroads again in his next life, he chooses to go with his father instead of his mother. In his new life, he became interested in writing science fiction novels. Nemo's father meets with an accident and becomes disabled. To help the family with food and medicines, Nemo starts working at a local shop. At a school party, Nemo meets a girl named Elise and develops feelings for her. Elise was just dumped by her boyfriend and was heartbroken. Therefore, Nemo was a great relief for her. However, he freezes in front of her, but Elise laughs at his nerdiness and finds him interesting. Some days later, he goes to Elise's house to ask her out, but he sees her with her ex-boyfriend. Nemo drives away on his motorcycle, taking all of his anger out on the throttle. He gets into an accident, and it sends him into a vegetative state. Though he can perceive the world through his senses, Nemo can't move or speak. He realizes that it's a dead end for him and decides to start over with a different life. But this time, he bravely tells Elise that he loves her. Though she was just dumped by her boyfriend, she still turns him down. But Nemo didn't quit, and with his persistence, he finally wins Elise's heart. Later, they get married. But that happy life doesn't last long. A car accident takes Elise's life, and Nemo is seriously injured too. At the age of 34, Nemo became an astronaut and successfully went to the space station. He meets Anna at the space station, and when they were about to start a relationship, an explosion in the space station ends his life again. Obviously, that life was not what he wanted either. Therefore, he once again goes back to the time before the accident to save Elise. But there, he learns that Elise never really loved Nemo, and their incomplete marriage was fated to fail. Elise, because of her guilt and sadness, leaves Nemo, and life proves to be a dead end once again. In his next life, Nemo makes a totally different choice and promises himself that he'll marry the first girl who will dance with him at the school prom. That night, he meets a cute girl named Jean and dances with her. While returning home with her, Nemo takes several pledges. He vows to marry Jean and become rich and successful, but deep inside, he's not sure whether he loves Jean truly. Years pass by, and Nemo has a beautiful wife, 2 children, and a big house. But he's still unhappy with his life and his marriage. Life is like a nightmare. He's completely lost in a fake identity that he could not recognize. Nemo starts making all of his decisions randomly via coin toss. There are so many times that he's tried to kill himself, and later changes his mind, but ends up being killed by 2 assassins by mistake. He didn't care about how Jean felt. He didn't want to do anything to change it at all because that life didn't work for him. After so many different life paths he's gone through, while once again standing at the crossroad with his father and mother, he finally realizes the underlying logic of fate. Life is like a game of chess, and the only viable move is to not take any action, which means not making choices anymore because every option has an arranged ending. He understands that no matter what choice he makes, he will die at the age of 34 because that is his fate. The 7-year-old boy at the crossroads already knew his future, but did not make a choice this time. Instead, he ran to the other side of the road, spending his whole life alone at the lighthouse. After many years, Nemo and Anna finally meet again at the train station. They are still in love with each other. Anna was living a sad life waiting to be together with Nemo again to live a meaningful life. They both had not seen each other for a long time, and now they're happy. Before leaving, Anna gives him her number on a piece of paper and promises she would meet him in 2 days at the lighthouse. Unfortunately, a sudden downpour makes the paper unreadable, and the two lose contact again. At this point, it's revealed that all those short lives have actually not happened yet, and they only existed in the imagination of a 9-year-old boy. In order to find the correct path, the young boy follows each choice to its logical conclusion. However, after going through all of his choices, it becomes more difficult for the boy to make his decision. That is why he decides to take the third option, which is not to make a choice at all, and runs away from both his parents into an unknown future. When the boy decides to not make choices anymore, the city buildings outside the window are taken apart, and all the parallel worlds collapse suddenly, and everything disappears. Nemo, in his deathbed, recalls his reunion with Anna and recites Anna's name. At the last moment of his life, it's revealed that Nemo finally met Anna again, and the present life path is the only life path that led him to somewhere. He's 118 years old now. It is then said that after a big bang, the expansion of the universe started, and on February 12th at 5:50 a.m., the expansion is going to stop, and the universe is going to contract from that time. This action results in the reversal of time. Consequently, Nemo is able to return to his childhood, watch his parents, and get back together with his real love, Anna. The 118-year-old Nemo is happy, realizing that his younger self finally found his one true love and life.